Hockey Nation fans, welcome to Hockey Live fans with Coach Frenchy and Michael Devellano. But today, Michael take another day off. Is on the trip. Is a Labor Day weekend, and he is with his family somewhere in Idaho. So I'm going to be by myself today and talking about game number 7 between the Islanders versus Flyers. Like if you follow hockey, you know exactly the final score between both team. Islanders 4, Flyers 0. And honestly, that game represents exactly the series at the end of the day, where we predict Islander have a better structure. Islander have a great defensive zone with a great coach like Barry Trotz. I knew for one game, if you want a great coach behind the bench to build and prepare a one team for one game only, Barry Trotz is the man. And he's showing up yesterday. You can see the Islander was completely in control of the game. From the net. The one thing that was surprised me a little bit, I thought during the day, and I mentioned this to you yesterday, Simon Valama should be in the net. And honestly, he won his with his guts. And I'm sure he spoke with a couple of players, and the people around him, surround himself with the entourage, his assistant coach, and they figure out Thomas Grease. He was maybe the man, and he did. He was the man. He had a shootout yesterday, and but if you see the season Islanders, right? Not the playoff, but the regular season, whatever it was, finished at 72 games. 72 games. They use both goalies. They have a really good, and I think I spoke with Michael yesterday about this. The NHL is shifting uh, with a tandem, a great goalie, a goalie number one, but also they need a great backup. And I really believe for the following season, the one we thinking to start in December or maybe in January, right? It's going to be season 2020 and season 2021. We talk about they will need a great backup goalie to helping the situation with back-to-back games. So that'll be something they have to figure out that part. And then Islanders have a great tandem goalie. You have a great two goalies. Welcome, Michael.
Sorry, I'm a little late. Having trouble getting on.
It's all good, no problem. I'm just talking about the game Islanders, but I'm talking about the fact like the future in NHL for a couple of years. I really believe they need two great goalies,
Yep.
not only a one number one, and then you can see from the Islanders, they have this. St. Louis Blues. I was been have the Jake Allen backup goalie, and we can go a couple of things. Vancouver with Markstrom and then Demko show up. During the playoff. That's what you need, but. I was talking at the beginning of the structure of the Islanders where Barry Trotz. Well, you need one great coach for one game, a game like
Yep.
a bit like the NFL when you have the Super Bowl game and that's it, right? I think Barry Trotz is the man to structure the team to play
I,
collective
I
play.
mean, you saw in that game, right, where you can tell that's one guy over preparing for success.
You
Like
mean?
they picked apart a great goalie. They shut down the offense from a team that plays very individualistic. They didn't give him anything. They gave him nothing.
Absolutely right. It's funny because if you remember, game number 1 between both teams was the final score.
I can't remember.
4-0.
Oh, the same. So it's like
Same
the
thing.
same game plan.
And the one thing we did not they play 7 game, right? Islanders score 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, and 4. The
Sure. It's
consistency score at least a minimum of 3 goals per game. Flyers 0. They won the second game 4. They lost the game number 3 1. Last game number 4 2. win four, game number five at four goal, game number six at five, and then shut down at zero. So you can see a team with no consistency can go from great, three, four, five goal, and then boom, zero, 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 and everything like that. But again, it come back at the best team win. I really believe the structure, everything. I think they maybe Islanders slipped two game where maybe well honestly, game number six, Islanders overshooting completely. The only reason I believe they played in game number seven was because of Carter Hart.
Yeah, he absolutely stole games. You know what I find interesting too about this team is if you look at during the regular season the statistics of the goalies on the Islanders, the save percentage and the goals against average are identical between the two goalies. How is that possible? And it's again in the playoffs. Like there's like no variance. Like this is a guy that prepares with so much detail. I think he's deciding these are the shots we give, these are the shots we block. He's got his team so prepared to be on the right side of the puck. And the only way that breaks down is maybe on the power play where they can't control the other team as much.
I think the other thing I would say to you is like the way they played yesterday. That's the Islanders style. I don't
Absolutely.
think so yet. The game number five six there was a couple of many turnover from the D, but
Yeah.
yesterday was really the style of Barry
Cool.
Trotz when he was with Nashville, when he was with Washington, when he was right there. And one thing he said, it's not matter who is in the net. What matters is how we play.
Yeah. And I mean he had no hesitation about putting Bryson as the game seven starter.
The shot is 26-16, but I want to remind you, at 16 shot for Flowers, right? There
How
was
much
an 11 minute, 11 shot, one they start to take up to pull out uh, Carter Hart about 6 minutes at the end of the game. So they shoot five shots during time they was played 6 versus 5.
wow.
Otherwise, you think about controlling a team game number seven at 11 shot, um, almost all game. That's
Insane. It's
that's
insane. Like it's like just it blows my mind.
all
I
right.
don't
Man.
they're and we forget Philadelphia was first and these guys were sixth.
But at that moment, that's
It
because
doesn't matter, but it's like, it just shows you the parity and
yeah, but that's a NHL parity between everywhere and
sure.
hockey, honestly. But I want to, I think at the end of the day, um, I believe the best team win. I believe
Well,
that's
I agree with you. I totally agree. They were definitely the better team.
yeah. And I think one thing I think that if we're going to talk about this tomorrow, but if the Islanders want to beat Tampa, one area they need to get better and better is on
Power play.
power play.
Yeah, the power play is not great.
No, not at all, not at all. By the fact, Flyers didn't score zero goal in power play and during that series.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Wow, I
One
didn't
thing
think
also, when you go to game number seven, you need not only your best player, but you need your depth players. You need some player never score. Like you
for
remember,
sure.
Retena scored three goals for, from Dallas, right? Yesterday we got Scott Mayfield, zero goal all year.
I was gonna say that guy never scores.
He did not score. He scored first goal at the playoff yesterday, right at 9:27, and then 4 minutes later, Andy Green scored his second goal of the playoff when he's
Okay.
over 38 years old. I'm very happy for him. He has a really good career. Play
Yeah,
for
in a not great
Devils.
team.
He's a leader, captain.
Yeah,
I'm always happy for the players going to be at their end. Like remember like Ray Burke and those guys.
yeah.
David and Red Shock, and they are the end of the end, and they have a
You
chance
want to try? Yeah,
this for me is priceless. Everything like that, and then Brooke Nelson. He was the star of the game yesterday. Nelson played well. He
play really
scored
well.
seven of the playoff. He had two assists yesterday, and then on the empty net, Anthony Beauvillier scored his eighth. Where I believe Beauvillier did not play the great series against the playoff. You tell me, oh yeah, 8 goals. He scored like he did not score for the last three games until he had an empty net yesterday. Um,
Yeah.
But if you want to know how this the playoff works, if you want to know more about what it takes sacrifice to win a game, just look the face of Matthew Barzal.
Oh, totally. Puck in the eye or a stick in the eye. It didn't matter. He kept going.
That's amazing. Like
Played great
you
yesterday.
know,
I think he played really well.
did you see what happened to him before the warm up?
No, what happened?
He got a shot on his head.
He did. Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he as talented as he is, he's got some grit. Like he's got some X factor there.
Yeah, you need grits. You need a player like his speed is unbelievable. He has 0 point yesterday, but he's the spy plug of the team.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the one we bring carry on that team on his shoulder. The kid is amazing, and if yeah, recall me because I'm not pretty sure. I think it was what draft pick 18.
18th.
There
So
you
what's
go.
crazy about that? Boston had 3 first-round picks before
14,
him.
15, 13, 14, 15. They took, but they took two good
Russ,
players.
they
Dasprok,
took
DeBrusque.
Zobril, the defenseman who may never play in the NHL,
Yep,
and Zachary Senyshyn, who played
yep,
from 12. It was Don Sweeney's first draft, and he
yep.
had traded Dougie Hamilton to get those picks, right?
Yeah, they got yeah, yeah. Of course, but
It's like what all you had to do is pick Barzal, but how many people passed on him? Like it's crazy if you look at the players that
17, maybe a 14 team. But at the end of the day, a draft you never know. A player you never know. It's so many different factors you never know about that part over there.
now,
You know,
you know what it was with him was his size.
yep.
Like they didn't like how many times are people going to make that mistake? Because you look at if you watch him, he's phenomenal. Like he killed us in the playoffs. He single-handedly beat Everett. Like
And
we were a better team. We had Carter and net, right? So this is like what you just saw with the Islanders and Philly is what was Everett. Except we play the structure in those days of the Islanders. It was Kevin Constantine was our coach.
Yeah, and I don't want to diminish Nathan McKinnon, but I really believe Matthew Barzal, he's a style of player like McKinnon, but a small format. Like he's smaller. Like he's not the size of McKinnon. He have a great
McKinnon's
skill.
very
He have a great hands. You can
yeah,
tell him he can
very
control the puck very well. Also, McKinnon a little bit more offensive, score more. I think he's more. He's bigger everything like that. But I just tell you the
took him a long time to get
overall
there.
players is. Hard of a 88 percentage save yesterday. About that one over there. We mentioned this yesterday. I thought you was not with me because I did the preview game
Yeah.
yesterday. I mentioned exactly like this. If you don't have any prediction of Konechny, Kevin Hayes, Giroux, if Couture play, and then GVR, this and
He played
Voracek,
well.
this team cannot go nowhere. And that's happened again yesterday. They cannot win game with no offensive for your big best player, and it's happened yesterday again. You
For
can tell
sure.
me you can see yesterday Kucher came back, but he was not at 100%. And finally he have a sprained MCL, by the way.
Oh, really? I've had
Yeah.
that.
So
That takes a long time. You can't have surgery for it. It's
no,
like
it's a
you have to
time. It's
wait
a
it out
holiday
and
on
rehab
that
it.
one over there.
And it
Honestly.
doesn't get better. It hurts for a long time.
Yep. So
I like looking back at that draft because the draft Barzal was in the McDavid draft. So it
yep,
went McDavid and Eichel.
yep.
Dylan Strome for Arizona arguably was not, the right pick there. Mitch Marner. And then you look at in between, there's still some very good players, but Carolina got Hannafin, who they eventually trade. Provorov was 7th. So Provorov went after Zaka, who's, Zach Wierenski was after that. You had Timo Meyer in San Jose, Nico Rantanen, and then they go to Lawson Crouse, but then Dennis Gurianov, who now we're finally seeing emerge into a really good player. So that's kind of nice to see. But then Boston with like 3, DeBruska's turned out. He's a 20, 25 goal guy. But then Barzal, and then after Barzal, Kyle Connor.
Oh wow.
So 19th was Kyle Connor, 22nd was Ilya Samsonov. So Detroit passed on Samsonov. Detroit picked up, got the other Svechnikov of Jenny. They could have had Samsonov.
Yeah, it was a really great
Oh,
draft
and then
year.
28th was Beauvillier. So they got Barzal and Beauvillier in the same draft.
Wow.
Interesting draft.
That shows sometimes if you pick the right players, you have a lot of draft pick. That's you can build
Totally,
you can build from that part over there more to a
totally.
UFA.
And what is even more interesting if you go to the second round, 35th was Sebastian Aho.
Wow.
What a crazy draft. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great year on the draft over there, honestly. Um, you know, but again, back at that game where, it is what it is, right? What I want to finish this with this game is to mention to, if you are a really, I'm not, but I know they are a lot listening to us because they are, because now some of my friends, they are, Flyers fans. You should be happy right now. You should see the the
There's
bro-
potential there.
the future in front of you. They
Yeah.
have so many great players, futures coming. You see those young kids learn from defensemen. Now they can build from that part over there. Um,
Sanheim. Hey, how about Philippe Myers? Like Philippe Myers blows my mind every time I watch him. How good he is.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. They're stacked on D, and like, and so then they have two guys that are on the IR. That I don't know if they'll ever come off. One is Sam Morin. Like Sam Morin would be in that group,
Yep.
and then the real big loss to me is Patrick, which doesn't surprise me because when he played in our league, and I remember we had these discussions, I was like, I wouldn't pick him because he's he's had just bad injuries and now he's got the head thing and you don't know what's going to happen with him. But when he's on the ice, man, that would have been a big addition to this team.
Yeah, I think it's two pick like this one, Nolan Patrick, and also Samuel Murray. Murray was more like a 17, 18, 19 pick, if I can
Yep,
be wrong,
yep.
but I think it was higher level that area. He's a big defenseman. I think he's 6'7".
Big, he's huge, 6'7",
Yeah,
but he can play, like. But
his
I don't.
problem
You don't
is
know what's going on
skating.
with his career, right?
Yeah, he took time to develop for him. I don't know his future with the team over there, but again, if you can look a little bit deeper, Morgan Frost.
Well, he's going to be a very good player. I'd be shocked if he's not. I mean, Morgan's been a very productive offensive player at every level, including the AHL. He's been very good. I think that in the end, Ron Hextall still has his fingerprints all over this team.
Yes.
Like he drafted Farabee, Frost. Like these were not, givens. Like where he picked some of these guys, he did a great job. I
And
mean,
then you have to remember, he was in and out, but Joel Farabi, left wing, he was with Boston University.
he's going
Um,
to be really good.
I think he's going to be very good, more what you expect. He's a great learning for him. He's still young. He's a 2000.
Look at Konechny. Konechny was 24th overall.
Yep,
A lot of, he was like, I think he was the first overall pick in the OHL. And
possible.
people wrote him off again. Why? He's 5'9", 5'10".
And then Cam York.
Well, yeah, it's funny because Cam York played for the
Was,
Anaheim Junior
was,
Ducks, and
yeah,
his
he
dad
played
Craig,
USHL.
or no, sorry, yeah, was he LA Junior Kings or Anaheim Junior Ducks? So we saw him at a younger age, and then yeah, he went to the
He
USHL,
was
and
the
then
team development
yeah,
US.
he's one of those U.S. development team players.
Yep.
And then the other defenseman that there is the one that went to Buffalo, which is Johnson. Those two were like 1 and 2 at that age group, both very similar. Cam's a little bigger, but Craig Johnson's kid, Ryan Johnson, was drafted by Buffalo that same draft. So two California kids.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, I think I think they have a couple of good players in the system over there. I think, and then you have Isaac Radcliffe, play OHL. He's a
Isaac
99.
Radcliffe can score, man, and he's
Yes,
big.
I
He's
know
like 6'4". He can play and he can score.
exactly.
I don't think he's, they might question his skating, but I think it's just time for him. That's
He's
going to be a
6'6", by
very
the
good
way.
player.
6'6",
Is he 6'6"?
6'6". Yep.
Wow. And he's like a 40 goal scorer in the OHL, isn't he?
He scored 50 goal
50.
with Guelph.
Wow. Yeah, he's
So,
a
so my point to you was, to mention to you is was about like the Flowers they have a great future. I don't, you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Uh, at the end of the day, NHL is all about parity. It's like one or
Yeah.
2 point, one last here, one last there can can make a big difference. But and then we need to mention the Thomas Grease shutout yesterday. It was his third game of the playoff, and congrats to him. He hanging there. It's not easy when you have 11 shot for about 50 minutes, 53 minutes, and then hanging there. You know what I mean? It's not easy when you get one shot there, one shot there. And that's what happening with Carter Hart. The first goal of the game with Mayfield, it was only the second goal, the second shot of the Islanders at the beginning. I think it was like 9 minutes.
Wow.
So that give you an idea. Sometimes you know what I mean. Like goalie prefer to have more shot to only like one
A
there,
little
one
bit, right?
there, right?
I mean, how many guys got, you just look at like they get in the zone.
Yep. So I want to finish. We have a couple of things. It's Sunday. We appreciate you guys, hockey fans, Hockey Nation fans, to listen to us Sundays during the Labor Day weekend, and Mike to be here. I want to finish with tonight. We have a game tonight. If you don't know, we have a game. We have a NHL game tonight,
Well,
and
as long as we keep doing that, I'm happy.
it's round number three, and it's a team we was expect to beat us called the Vegas Golden Knight, and we have a team we did not know and we did not expect to be
Um,
there, and that's the first time they met between in any playoff history between Vegas and
yeah, but I
Dallas.
mean, not many teams have met Vegas in the playoffs. They're brand
Not
new, so
really. And then is the second is the first time in the history of NHL Vegas become the first team at their 3-year history to come back to the final conference of
oh
the,
no, there's one more.
yeah,
St.
this.
Louis Blues.
I'm sorry again.
The St. Louis Blues.
Did two time in the first 3 years
They made the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row.
at the 67, 68, 69.
67, 68, 69. So the reason I know that, the coach was Scotty Bowman, the chief scout, Jimmy Devellano.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He was like I think the first year he was like I don't know if he was chief scout the first year, but he was definitely the second and third. They had a bunch of ex Montreal guys, and it was when all the expansion teams were in one conference, and then the original six were in another.
Okay. As was a time with Red Berets, no?
Exactly. I was gonna say Red Berenson, the Michigan.
Barclay Blazer,
Clean
Gary
Plager.
Under.
Wasn't Jacques Plante on that team?
I don't remember who was the goalie or this. That's what I was thinking right now.
What's
But
Well, it was Glenn Hall, right?
yeah, I think so.
And Jacques Plante, I thought together.
I think he came after that.
Well, let's look here. There was one year they had both of them. So there's Glenn Hall was the first year. Second year, Jacques Plante. It was Glenn Hall played 18 games and
You know
Jacques
who else
Plante played
played here
32.
is Al Arbor.
I was gonna say, okay, so I don't know if you know that story. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Doug Aubrey was there.
yes, so Jimmy Devellano, my cousin Jimmy Devellano, was his first job was he wrote a letter to Emile Francis, and he was hired as a Toronto area scout, and then he became the chief scout. So he was there. Scotty was the coach before Montreal, right? So he was 3 years in a row. They went to the final. Al Arbor was a defenseman, and then Jimmy went to the New York Islanders, and he became the chief scout of the New York Islanders. And then he eventually became the assistant GM. So Jimmy drafted like Brian Trache, Dennis Potvin, Mike Bossy, all those guys, right? And who was the coach? He recommended Al Arbor.
Oh,
And
really?
then Yeah, so then you fast forward, Detroit, he became the GM in Detroit in 82, and his first draft pick was Stevie Eiserman.
Wow.
Pretty good pick. And then, that you go ahead and they were always, and they never kind of get over that hump, right? So then they were like, listen, we got to bring in a new coach. And it was between Al Arbor and Scotty Bowman to be the coach of the Red Wings.
Wow.
And Jimmy was the general
You
manager.
remember those years, like Glenn Howe was the goalie, but check about, I don't know how they get it, but they have like Talbot, Picard, they have
Yeah, Noel Picard was on that
Noel
team. Terry
Picard,
Chris was
and
on
then
that
Robert
team.
Picard, and
Yeah,
then you have Al Albert, and then you have both brothers,
Bill Goyette.
and then you have like one player we it's sad because we don't hear about him, but he was very good for NHL as a player, as also as a coach. It was Terry Cripps.
Yeah, exactly. He won the Stanley Cup as a coach
And
with the
then you
Calgary
have,
Flames.
I don't know if you remember this player. His name is Jimmy Roberts. Jim
I
Roberts.
told, I just was saying Jimmy Roberts, a defenseman. Totally remember him.
So
Jim Lorenzo's on that team.
yeah. So anyway, we we
Crazy throwback.
shift
Like
from
nobody would remember this stuff, but
we shift
they,
from the Vegas versus Dallas. Now we're talking about the Blues, but great
but they a
memories.
lot of ex Montreal guys. And then Scotty Bowman, what does he do? He
Yeah, he
goes
went
on
to
to coach
Montreal
Montreal and wins how many cups? Four or five?
five straight. Yeah.
5 cups, man.
So Dallas Star versus Golden Knights. It's a game where it's a series where now everybody said Vic is going to win. Everybody said Dallas is going to last first round. Everybody says Dallas is going to last second round. Now everybody said uh, Dallas is going to lose third round, and and somehow somewhere they find a way to be a resilient team, a
Well,
team never
they've
give
gotten
up
lucky with the
perseverance.
goaltending matchup. Like, do
And
you
the,
think I can't see this goaltending getting through Vegas's goaltending. Like, whether it's Leonard or Fleury, they're both way better than Kudobin, and Bishop looks like he's in outer space.
yeah, um, you know, uh, the good thing about like both team, and I like that too, is like one side you have Miro Iskanen with 21 points.
So
To
good.
another side we have Shea Theodore with 16 point now, and then you can go with Martinez, then you can go with Klember to another side over there. They have a Norm Schmidt, like diminished,
Oh,
small
Nate Schmidt.
players but skate well and everything like that. And then you can go with is it Lendl? Lendl. Isa Lendl
Oh,
for
Salindle. Yeah, he's
you know
really
what I
good.
mean. So they have a
Way
really good.
underrated, isn't he? He's a very good defenseman.
Yeah, both teams have very strong, good defensemen over there.
Yep.
Four defensemen, very good. We don't talk about Olden and Fitton and everything like that. I'm talking about the best three on both teams are very good defensemen. Then you go to the lineup for from the star. Ben have 13 points. I think he's winning well over there. Then we have Koreanov at 15 points. That's a surprise over there. Uh, Hans did not start very well the beginning of the playoff, but now he's now at 10 point. He have I think a 7 point in against Colorado. Then after that, Pavelski is 12.8 goals in 16 games, so he's one goal every 2 games. And then you have Radulov, you have 11 points. The one is not play well. If Dallas want to win that playoff series, it all come now to Tyler Seguin.
I
That's
don't
it.
know, man. I don't think they care about him anymore.
But it's not because he don't care. It's like they need a guy like him. He
I don't even
has
think
the
they think
skill
he
to make
matters.
that one over there. He
He had
need to put
19 goals all year. He normally is a 40 goal guy. Like, he was the most prolific offensive player for like 5 years, right?
yes.
NHL, if you look at his goals, he's like second in
Yeah.
goals scored. I don't think they care. I
So
think that I think it's shifted to the old guys.
and then another player, I think he maybe had no many points, but Corey Perry
Yeah,
he play a good role inside of Dallas. You
absolutely.
don't
He's a
expect him to score, but he's a guy. He's going to be instigate left and right to go under
friggin'
your nose to he's going to push and everybody talk trash to everybody. He
yep.
play very well. Now,
He's a
what happened
weasel.
with Kivi Renta? Is it like a smoke for one game, or he can?
I don't think he's ever gonna. He may never score another goal. Who knows?
Yeah, I
I mean,
know.
he could be like John Drews. From, you remember John Drews?
Yeah.
And he scored like 11 or 12 goals in the playoffs and then never again.
He has some player like that. Ryan Poling with Montreal, 4 goals first game, and like he did not make the team the second year. You can go with goalies; they score like they win. Like many goalies have a Steve Penny, and then we have
Steve Penny. I loved Steve Penny.
the goalie from what's the name of the goalie from Ottawa?
Tugnet?
No,
Ron Tugnet? Or Damian Rhodes?
no, the one have like he did not lose the first 11 games, something like that.
Oh, Andrew Hammond.
Who?
The Hamburglar.
Yeah. So
Andrew Hammond.
you always have always a goalie like that where he's sharp. But my point to you, let's go move on with Knights. I think Carlson have 8 point 15, but Carlson does a lot of great things. No, but he's not necessarily because of the points. Marchand have 9 points. I think he did not play well against Vancouver. He have a trouble with the social media at some point. Maybe affect his play over there. Patrick have a better 3-4 last goal. Did a score again because Tamco, but he has 7 points over there. Then you have Riley Smith, 13 point 15. Then you have Max
Mark
Stone,
Stone.
15 and 15. I think if it was not Demko, I think Stone have 20 points. You know what I mean? And then you have our favorite player, Alex Talk, with 10 point, 8 goal already. Stone, 6 goal. Riley Smith, 4. Patrick, 5. They are really the one dominate the offensive. One thing we did not talk, but we have to talk is about the suspension of Ryan Raves. He's not going to play game number 1 tonight.
Oh, for the hit to the head? Good.
Yeah,
That was a dirty hit.
so is the one over there on the defense side. Martin has 7 point, Norm Schmidt have 8 points, and then Theodore 16 point. Did not they play? I think one player have he maybe not with the points, only 2 point, but he bring a lot is because he's big and he play one defensive is McNabb. His name has never been mentioned.
Braden McNabb's a good defenseman.
Yeah, because it's always Martinez and Theodore, and Schmidt. But I
Yep.
think McNabb played a role number 4 for that, six player, and then we have Olden and White Cloud. Um,
White Cloud's been real good.
so they close right there. The goalie were of course Lerner and Fleury. So overall, if you go with roster versus roster, you can see. Vegas have an advantage. Now, the one thing I would say to you, Vegas cannot play a lot, take bad penalty because Dallas have a great power play this year and the playoff. And Dallas right now they score three. Well, they are number 4, 3.31 score per game. The only thing is trouble. They are the one of the worst with goal against. They have three
Well,
point.
they have to, right? They have
Yeah.
to score because
So
again, I think that's going to be, at some point that's going to run out. They got lucky with
yep.
Colorado. Like if they face Grubauer, I don't think they get through. Because I mean, they just ran into injury problems in Colorado. Kudobin, I think, played reasonably well, but I mean, Leonard's very good. Fleury's very good. And
I think you bring a good point, and I like that when you said, sometimes you rain out, right? And more you go deeper in the playoff, like round 1, round 2, and 3. Now you can see team is a little bit more different between both, and you can see Vancouver versus Vegas. It's just almost like a miracle to make 7 games over there. At the end of the day,
well, they got lucky with Demko.
yeah, exactly. But that's show. Now, I think that's what you point. What I want to say to you. You bring your point is uh, Dallas is going to be a problem with Codelin.
That's gonna run out, man.
I
You
think so.
think of how Vegas plays.
I go with. Let's go finish this with Vegas. Vegas and 5 for me.
I
Maybe
think so too.
maybe a 6 for extreme.
Maybe a stretch to 6, but I don't think so. The
I,
way Vegas plays, like that style,
listen,
they're gonna.
Dallas play versus almost 5 players from Colorado. Right? You, you,
Oh
you
yeah,
talk about, McKinnon, Rantanen,
yeah.
Lestegard, Makar.
Absolutely, they got lucky
You
that
know what I
the
mean?
injuries
So
to Johnson and
now you're going to play against a team. It's back to back to back to back. Like every time you have someone, is your line on the ice is
every
going to be
line,
better than what you have in front of you. So I
every
think at
line.
some point you can hanging there, you can handle the hanging there a couple of times and then whoop one game. But after that, I don't see what this game could be. I just see Vegas and finals.
I don't see it. I think
That's
it's Vegas in the final. If
Yeah,
it's
so
not,
let's
I'll be
finish this show with mention to you the news. We don't have any signature right now in NHL. Of course, it's Labor Day weekend. Everybody get there. I have a couple news from you. I know you're going to laughing and then said, "What the heck is going on there?" But I have to tell you because they are the news. It's my job for you here to give the news and you comment on the news. That's how it works. So Mark Sheck from, I'm sorry, Chris Johnson on Sportnet said that Pierre McGuire, Pierre McGuire, has interviewed 2 times with Arizona Coyotes.
as what the GM.
Yep.
So I mean, I will say this: Pierre Maguire actually coached in the NHL. It's been a very long time, and Pierre's not stupid. He knows players.
Yep.
So I find that less surprising than guys that are straight up commentators. I don't care if you've been a player and then you're a commentator.
Like
Now you're
Pierre
interviewing a
LeBrun.
GM. Like, come on. So it doesn't surprise me. Pierre's not stupid,
Yep.
right? Wait, did you say Pierre LeBrun?
No, no, I said a guy like Pierre LeBrun, when everybody mentioned him or mentioned like, L. Olczyk to be like GM to one organization.
Well, again, though, Ed Olczyk coached in the NHL, but
Yeah,
he's
but
never, but he's not training to be an executive. Like what you see in Florida, Bill Zito, you go, wow, he was an agent, but he also studied under a very good general manager and he ran an AHL franchise. Like that's the path. If
yep,
you,
I agree with you on that one over there. So the second news from the Edmonton, and this going happening, fans, Hockey Nation fans. It will happen for the next couple of weeks and maybe more a little bit longer, where the team loan players on the
oh, to
on the
Sweden
front
and
club
Russia,
because some NHL they maybe not play or ECHL maybe not play next
right?
season.
It's going to
So
be
you're going to have a lot of loans. So Ryan McLeod of the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers, going to be with Evie Zuck of the Swiss League. Um,
we'll probably stay there.
yeah, so you're going to have a lot of risk. The
I don't
prospect
know. McLeod,
is
yeah,
is it
he's a 99, so he's a big guy and he can skate
Ryan
okay. And
McLeod? Is it the brother of Cody McLeod?
I don't think so.
No, all right. I just
Ryan's from I don't think they're related. He's related to is the New Jersey guy.
he's not from Kelowna.
No, Mississauga. He's from Mississauga. His brother is Michael McLeod.
Okay.
The big forward from
Yep.
New Jersey,
Yep. So
which I
anyway,
don't know if he'll
um,
ever play, but
you know, Jordan Hall from the NBC Sport, like I mentioned earlier to you, Philadelphia Flyers forward Sean Couturier played last night, and after the game said he has a sprained MCL. So it's something you have to be a little bit careful, but I think you have a time anyway to recover until the beginning of
yeah, that's a pain. It's a very difficult injury because it's
yeah.
such a big, thick
There's a
thing, and
time
you can't
about that one
operate
over
that.
there. Like I mentioned earlier, Frank Seravalli, talk about the Ryan Rays 1 game suspension. One thing I didn't mention to you is,
Have a head
I forgot
injury.
that one, is the Pittsburgh Penguins signed defenseman Huzo Ricola, a
Ooh.
2 years contract with AAV of 1.15 millions. I'm a French guy. I have a difficult time sometimes with English, but I have my accent, Europe accent with
Oh, you so
Ricola.
Ricola. Is that like those cough drops? Ricola.
Yeah, that maybe. But I don't know. I need to
He's
check.
26-year-old Finnish defenseman.
Is a left defenseman, 6 foot 189, and born in '93.
But
By
he
the way,
played 36 games this year.
he's
He
from
already played it.
Finland. The good news about him, he was born at the same date. I was born November 9th, but that's the only thing.
But he played 36 games this year. So
He played 36 games. Yes, you're right. The year before he played 37. So he's like, um,
Depth defenseman, six
yeah, I
seven.
think for the Pittsburgh Penguins to check about that part of there. Now here's the big news about why Washington Capital have no clue what they are doing over there. But from Michael Russon is a podcast of the Washington Capital said. I made the story from inside the bubble about the cap basically turning into a vacation, having pool parties and things like that.
Why do we
Pretty much,
not?
you pretty much knew you have no interest to be there, that team over there. So that give you an idea.
This is the history of this friggin' team.
Yeah. So
Like we're not. This is like how old are these guys?
many of them are over 30 now.
They're over 30, and they blew their whole 20s partying.
Yep. So
Like, and then like the famous quote is Nicholas Backstrom after they won the cup. He goes, "Hey, look, we finally worked as hard as we party, and look what happens."
yep.
But he's part of that.
Yep.
Like what? And then what happens with Kuznetsov?
It's all
Kuznetsov,
about one thing I would say to you, right? It's the culture you bring, the way you surround the players with the right
brutal.
people, not right people, and you
That's why
know,
Barry Trotz is like, "F this, I'm out. I'll take my chances with the
here we
Islanders."
go. He
Right?
knew
And
this.
then and
They'll
the you know,
counter.
think about so the last thing is like Kuznetsov, right? You remember what happened with him?
Yep.
He gets busted for doing coke on Instagram.
Yep.
That tells you everything you need to know about these guys.
Yep, that's the culture you bring over there. So anyway,
Brutal.
that's the story. But we knew already about that. Washington
So
was
bad.
don't want to be there. You can see behavior, you can see body language, you can see players that push hard, everything like that. It is what it is. They move out, and
Brutal.
they deserve what they
To
deserve,
be
and they done
embarrassed.
it. They chant the coach, and they have a lot of work to do there. And then they have to. For me, I think they have to go more on the transition to thinking about a little bit more the 3 5 years, maybe time to check or trade a couple of players there. But that's
Like
another story.
Ovechkin.
That's another story. We're going to talk about this a little bit
Bye,
later.
Ovechkin.
Finish. Just want to finish this with all the elimination of the team, round first, round second, everything like that. I want to give you the draft playoff from 16 to 27. So now we have Montreal 16, Chicago 17, New Jersey 18, got from Arizona because the trade from Taylor Hall, 19 Calgary, New Jersey got 20 from Vancouver because the trade of, yep, and then 21 is Columbus, 22nd Rangers got that one from Carolina, from Hurricanes from the trade for the defenseman, is it Czech, Sedgwick? Was the big
Uh,
guy defenseman like SGE, um, Keshino, something like that was
Jesus Christ, I have no idea.
take the defenseman from Columbus. All right,
The
20,
big, oh, what, the Russian guy?
I think, yeah, from
Gavrikov?
no,
Oh.
Carolina.
Um, I don't know. I can't remember. I have to look at. There's so many defensemen that are there, but they have like 9 defensemen in Carolina.
Hold on, I'm going to give you this because
He's on Carolina from Columbus,
if he came from Rangers,
and he's on Carolina.
yeah,
Who came from? So you got Slavin and Hamilton, Gardner, Edmondson, Pesci, Van Riemsdyk. Oh, Brady Shea.
shit, here you go, British. Here we go. I knew.
He's a good defenseman, but he had a bad year. Like he was
Yeah.
injured all
Anyway,
year.
he got the pick they got Rangers was from that trade.
No,
23rd Philadelphia Flyers, 24
look at that.
Colorado, 25th Washington, 26 St. Louis,
Oh,
27 Anaheim. Got that pick from Boston Bruins on the trade of Kase, Kase, where
Cash or whatever. It's like the Andre Cash.
yeah, there was
Like
not
respect
the
it.
it was not a trade with him and also Richie together. I
Was
think so.
it Anaheim?
Richie.
Brett Ritchie or Nick?
Both of them, like both of them came together and then they got trade for
Yeah.
first round pick. So anyway, it was a trade 27. So now we know, and then after that you're going to get a win, like 28, 29, 30, 31st, everything like that. So that give you an
Who do
idea.
you think's gonna go first overall?
Yeah, that will be an easy one for everybody on that one over there. But
Yeah, it's a very easy one. I think the
yeah,
question for me
so
is fourth.
yeah, exactly. So let's go back. Remind everybody. I want to know your pick before we go and out of this show tonight. Dallas Vegas. I want to.
Vegas.
By the way, wait a minute. Hockey Nation fans, you need to know that part over there because I had no clue about basketball. And the
Oh,
year before, I picked the winner of the uh, basketball winner, the March Madness.
oh, okay. Wow.
Yesterday, I picked the Derby, Kentucky. I
Did
put a,
you?
I don't gambling a lot, but I went to fan duel and I put $20 over there.
Authentic?
Authentic, my friend.
That's so
And
funny.
I
You
have
know what's
friends.
crazy
They
is
have friends. I text 3 people, 5 people, and they know. So if you want to say, "Oh, Frenchy's lied to us," I can tell you right now. I have five
that's
people
awesome.
about that one over there. So it was a good nuggets over there to get a
So
couple of
what's
money over
crazy? So we were supposed to be at that Kentucky Derby. We
there.
had booked to go to the Derby, and then they rescheduled it. And then we were like, we're not going to go, like all the COVID craziness. So
Yeah.
that's why we came to Coeur d'Alene instead.
Place to be also. That's a good weekend
Yeah,
to
it's
be
been
there.
great. It's
So
amazing here, by
awesome.
the way. If you ever
So
want to go to a
before
cool,
we move on, just let us know about the game tonight. Vegas again, Dallas, and I want to go with the score. Yesterday I predict
5-1.
5-1 Vegas.
I think so.
Okay, I predict yesterday. By the way, Islanders 4 and Flyers 2. So I
Did
got
you?
the 4, did not get the 2, but I was pretty good on that one over there. I'll be honest with you. I will go with 5 is a good number, by the way. I think, but I would go with 4. I'll go back 4-2. I think
Yeah,
Vegas, and I'll
probably.
be.
Dallas can score, but
But at the same time, I would like to.
Denver.
I would like to tell you 6-2, but you know what I mean. Like I just feel like it would not like that way. But
We might be very surprised. You know, Dallas keeps surprising us. But
it,
I don't think those goalies are gonna last. I mean, I
I
just
don't
don't.
think so too. So 4-2 for me, 5-1 for Michael.
No.
Anything else you want to tell to all our fans of the Hockey Nation live show before we get out of here?
Well, I'm less excited about the playoffs now, but let's keep watching.
Yeah, I'm still alive. I picked Tampa versus Vegas for the final,
Yeah, that's good
so
because
I'm still
you
alive
called
over
Tampa
there.
all
Over
the way,
there.
which
And
I
I
mean,
picked
Tampa's got a
Tampa.
legit shot.
I,
I thought Colorado would go to the final, but
yeah,
they
I
ran into
think
injuries.
And then oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, McKenna had a press conference on Montreal. I think somewhere. I think it was Montreal, where he said he suggests to Joe Sakic, don't make a lot of change. Keep what we have. We have a good team to win the Stanley Cup.
I I agree. Like
They are close. They are close. We're going
they're
to talk
very
about
close.
yes,
They
yes,
are very
exactly.
very close.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens again. And then on that one, my friend, I want to give you one more thing. Enjoy your weekend liberty, guys. Enjoy tonight the game Vegas versus Dallas. And remember, follow us on the Facebook page and on YouTube channel. Have a great Sunday, fun day, Michael. And have a great one, hockey fans of Hockey Nation live show. Have a great one, Michael.
Thanks, Frenchy.
All right. See you tomorrow. 11 o'clock. Yeah.